Hi, my name is Anna Park,
And I'm Evan Eckels.
and we made a game app that allows you to guess the state with a larger population. The app uses data from the U.S. Census data of state population projections from 2017. We decided to make this app because we wanted to make something that was sort of educational, so we wanted to use real data, which is why we chose the U.S. Census database. Through this app, you get this educational game that teaches you how big states are in relation to each other by comparing two states and also showing you the population of the states after the question is answered.
All right. So in terms of who did what, we just did normal pair programming with one laptop, no merging of any branches or anything like that. So everything was just done on one computer and then just pushed to GitHub normally. So yeah, we worked on everything together. No one had we had the same role basically. And then so basically our app, here's a demo of it. You can basically just select between two different states and see which one is larger in terms of population. So between New York and Arizona, I'm gonna guess that New York is larger. And then we see that New York has 19 million people versus 7 million in Arizona. And you can just keep playing, and let's say I get one wrong, I guess Nebraska for this, which is wrong. You see that Nebraska's marginally smaller than Maryland in terms of population, and you can just keep playing, and it actually just keeps going with randomly generated states, and you can just keep playing. So some problems that we ran into with our app was actually setting constraints with the actual items in the UI. So it was kind of hard to set constraints because there's a lot of different devices on Android. So actually we used the Pixel 2 or the Pixel 2 XL for this one, and obviously it looks very different from our mock-up in here with the Nexus 4. So we had to kind of find a way to constrain it so that it looked nice on all devices. Another problem we ran into was dealing with events that came from buttons rather than the command line or directly from the Java file. So we had to deal with user input and connect it to the UI. So that was a little difficult. It just had a lot of fetching from the UI and connecting IDs and stuff like that. So that was just a lot of figuring that out. Another problem we ran into was we had to find a way to randomly make API calls. So that was kind of difficult because since we needed to randomly generate state names, we had trouble just getting data. So we actually found a way to use an array that would slightly modify our API or our API code, and it would just allow us to replace one integer and basically fetch a population for a random state given a certain integer, and that was how we generated the two random states. So yeah, some future ideas for this app would be maybe incorporating some more choices in terms of adding more buttons. On this larger device, there's definitely room for more choices, maybe 4 choices. Also, there you can use different types of data, like things maybe the area of the states or something else like that. There's the U.S. Census has a lot of different data on state populations and how it's distributed, things like that. Honestly, anything how many households there are. So yeah, there's a lot of data that we could probably implement into this, but that would be in the future. So yeah, that's our app.